Big news, Reverb is no longer owned by Etsy. Now, as you can see by the date of this article, I'm a little bit behind on this news, but I wanted to give this some time to see what changes we might see. This musical instrument platform was first sold to Etsy in July 22nd of 2019. And I remember those days. Everyone was saying that's doom and gloom to Reverb, but we made it through okay. We saw their 3.5% go up to 5%. But the thing I love most about my show is you can see just how different Reverb listings were back then. For example, they put your seller achievements right up front and center. They told you the location, join date. The seller's information was really easy to see. You could find the message seller button. You could see how many views a listing had and the condition. And one of my favorite things was the description down here was always open and easy to see, although it's cut off in this screenshot. But there's definitely been some changes over the past 6 years, and I've grown really accustomed to how it looks now. But the biggest change that occurred is the price is now a lot smaller, so you focus on it less. But hey, if new Reverb owners are listening, please, 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 it should not be this hard to find the message seller button. That needs to be right here. And I would love to see the rating system come back, rather than just stars, because this guy could have only sold one thing and got one 5-star review. That doesn't mean he's a great seller. Back in the olden days, they told you how many ratings they had too. So the Chicago Music Exchange guy sold it to Etsy, and then Etsy is now selling it to these guys, Creator Partners, that has other current music investments, including BMI, SoundCloud, wow, Colors Plus Studio, and Mogul. But it's not only them, it's also Servco. And this is the one that's ruffling people's feathers because they also have stake within Fender. And not just a little bit either, they're the majority stakeholder of Fender. So that's why you're seeing headlines of Fender buys Reverb. It makes total sense from a business standpoint, because it wasn't that long ago that we saw the Fender certified pre-owned shop open up on Reverb, where you could buy some of their overstock inventory that's been lightly refurbished. It's very similar to the Gibson demo shop, but just for Fender offerings. So why would they not consider buying Reverb if they're going to make this part of their portfolio? Because even though a fee's still technically being paid, it's still going to the same guys, is the way I see it. Part of me is curious if Gibson's going to just start to make their own platform for these instead of listing on Reverb now, because hey, our main competition now owns the platform. But let's face it, Reverb is a powerhouse for selling off instruments. If Gibson thought they could do it on their own, just listing on their website, I bet they already would have. And don't forget about Fender's old certified vintage Reverb shop. I don't know if I would say it was a failed endeavor. I just think they only had 5 guitars to sell and they decided, not as good as we were thinking. But I believe people's biggest concerns here are more so, there seems to be a trend of manufacturers wanting to get rid of dealers, like they want to sell direct to consumer. So this gives them a very large platform to do so, without hurting the money that the parent company technically makes. And I'm not claiming to be an expert here, but Etsy is a publicly traded company that has shareholders to respond to, whereas now it's privately held. That makes me a little bit more optimistic as far as if they might ever change the fee structure. I mean, they might even become more competitive. Who knows? I mean, we've been pretty steady at a 5% selling fee going on 5 years now. So that's something that we'll have to watch out and wait and see on, I guess. I know there's enough competition in the works because there's a lot of people that want to overthrow Reverb. So far, I haven't really found anything that excites me though. They're already talking about some things that they want to do, like a new option for selling. That sounds interesting for somebody who wants a quick, hassle-free way to sell things, but not get as much money. So that's a recap of the news. Here's what's changed so far that I've noticed on the website. Once again, my old videos come in handy because we document the website. Look very closely here. Look at the bell. I always loved that it had this little ringy-dingy thing up here on top. And then we recently had the favorites and cart menu. But here's what we've got today. They took the top of the bell off. I know it's silly, but I really miss it. I hate this new bell, but I get it. It's simplified. Next up, when you click on favorites, it now takes you back to your feed. I actually think this could be a good thing because here's my big secret. Doing price drops on Reverb used to mean something. It would show up on people's feed, and there actually used to be like a 4 square thing up here that said my feed, and people would check that all the time. But when they changed it to favorites, where it used to take you to look something like this, anything that you gave a heart to, and wanted to come back to later. So nobody ever saw their feed anymore. So therefore, nobody ever saw when things got a price discount. So whenever I see somebody complaining about the prices on Reverb, I think a lot of that is due to that, because there was really no incentive as a seller in order to discount your stuff. The most effective way to make use of that was through private offers. Now I just hearted these for a reason, because if you've ever shopped on Reverb or add something and heart it, sometimes you will get a private offer automatically sent from the seller, or maybe even for a different similar product right in your offers page. Sometimes it's instantaneously, other times it's like 24 hours. And by the way, if you don't know how to do that, go to your listings page and you'll see this right here, manage direct offers. It used to be you have to have it 10% off or more because it's got to be worth someone's time. They just recently changed that to 5% before the ownership changeover, but you can enable those. And that's what I always found to be a little bit more effective than just publicly cutting the price. So that is one great thing that they're doing that I think will help people move through gear if they're pricing it right and need to do them quickly. But now if you're clicking and you're like, hey, where's all my saved stuff? It's right up here. The feed's the first thing they show you, but then you can come over here to your watch list. And hey, cool, they even have a shops and searches now too. Sometimes I'll save a shop because they list cool things or they have nice deals. Like I believe I bought a lot of Les Pauls from Duff here. This Down Under shop has amazing guitars. And then you get reminded of other things from the past, like the Crew Nation tellies. But shout out to Ghost River Guitars. We line up on what we like, so I always like seeing what he lists, whether I want to buy it or not. The next thing that I've seen change is something you will notice when you're making a listing. So we'll go ahead and go through all of our usual stuff here, but where things will become different is this page. Oh, they changed it back. Just yesterday, this was 5%. Watch for that to change because there was actually only 2 different ones when I made a listing earlier. But please, 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 new Reverb owners, stop making this the default option. I think that is deceptive. It should start, I don't want additional exposure, because I'm tired of having to click that. I would be more willing to use the reverb bump if it was presented in that manner. But hey, that's just me. Reverb wants to get an additional 5%. And if you don't know what bump is, anytime you're browsing the site and you're thinking you're looking at new guitars or you're just searching something in general, you have to look closely because some of them are labeled Reverb bump, but it makes it look the same as like a price drop. This is a paid insertion to help get it in front of more eyes, and they are paying a premium for that. Hold on, excuse me, $500 Les Paul Studio happened. So one of these fadeds looks like somebody's really worn through the necks, played it pretty hard, but those are great guitars. Somebody's upgraded our tuner. There we go. That's why. But I hope everybody watched to the end of this because there is something that I had to reach out to Reverb about, because if they care at all about their affiliate partners, all the YouTube shows that have their affiliate links and drive lots of traffic to the site, they need to seriously reconsider who they've just partnered with. Okay, so say I want this headstock repaired Les Paul. When I go to check out, it's your usual PayPal or debit credit. I wanted to put this in. Always, always, always use this option if you have it. If you check out with PayPal, Reverb cannot help you in a dispute. They do not have final say. I really wish this would be the default option too, because too many people learned that the hard way. And to be clear here, I'm not sure when this new box was added. Was it when the new owners came in, or was it beforehand? Either way, it is their problem now. Look at this right here. There is now a box that says get coupon codes instantly added to future orders. Simply add Capital One Shopping to your browser. Shop like normal. This free tool does the work for you. And look at this. They're going to give you $40 just to do that. If you care about influencers, do not install that. That is pretty much the same thing as Honey. It's just Capital One owned. And in case you've missed this side of YouTube, I used to love Honey. It would automatically apply coupon codes, and sometimes you would save like maybe $10 on Reverb. It was just a plugin over here that ran automatically every time I was checking out. And yes, 99 times out of 100, it didn't actually do anything. But little did I know that it quickly replaces any cookies that any other affiliate marketers who might have led me to the site to purchase that exact guitar with theirs just because they tried to put some fake coupons in there. So I'll be real with you guys. Back in like 2020, I used to make about $2,000 a month off of affiliate sales to Reverb. Anymore, I get maybe 50 to 100. And I always thought that was just because I was a very early adopter of promoting Reverb with the affiliate links. But then every YouTuber under the sun caught on. So I just figured, yeah, it's dilution from that. No, it was just honey the whole time. But now to see them actively advertising and giving unsuspecting downloaders a financial incentive to add that to their browser every single time, that just seems like Reverb does not care about their affiliate marketing team at all. Now, to your average guy, does that affect you? No, but I think it's worth knowing. I would highly suggest not using Honey or Capital One shopping, because it's not just what I told you. There's a lot more behind that, like they don't actually find you the best coupon like they say they are, but there's plenty of videos if you'd like to learn more about that. So to wrap things up, yes, technically Fender owns Reverb in a roundabout way now. We haven't seen any huge historical changes yet, but they are changing some small stuff, so I'll keep my eyes peeled if there's anything pertinent in the future, and we can do some follow-ups. Feel free to use our comment section as a, hey Reverb, I think you should do this. The only thing I could think of is maybe get a real live chat support system again. Like, sure, you can send the emails, but a lot of people have won an actual phone call, and that option was taken away quite a few years ago. But leave your thoughts down in the comments, and we'll catch you tomorrow on the next one. Take care.